to a brand new wave, drowning out the noise that's tame. Liberty whispers through the brave, breaking free from every chain. Nullify the rules they crave, crypto beats that pave the way. Anarchy with minds that's safe, algorithms new dawn today. Out of bounds and out of sight, building futures pure and bright. Escape the grip and win the fight. Welcome into the legacy right. Beyond control we take a stand, casting off the iron brand. Freedom flowing through our hands, revolution's our command. Decentralize the way we plan, all together we expand. Breaking shackles for the clan, in this journey we're unpanned. Out of bounds and out of sight, building futures pure and bright. Escape the grip and win the fight. Welcome into the legacy right.
Whoa there, Pilgrim. We got
Hey,
sidetracked. I don't know how the hell that. Wow. Okay. I am the legacy of Jennifer and Kaiser. This is the legacy, right? That's Andrew Joseph. I don't like these cameras, man. There we go. Even better. We can see each other. And welcome to another edition, a Black Friday edition, the day after Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope you enjoyed your families. I hope you enjoyed away from the politics, away from the Twitter sphere, X sphere, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I hope you went and touched grass. Hope you had a big feast. Stuffed yourselves till you fucking couldn't poop, and then had a humongous poop the very next morning because we
I
all
lost
needed
2
it.
pounds.
I bet you did. He gained about 15 and only lost 2 after that. So enough of the poop jokes, though. Well, let's not get on a tangent here. Although, I mean, obviously the economy is in the toilet. So, yeah. How are you doing today, Andrew? How was your Thanksgiving, by the way? How was your 2 weeks off from the Legacy ride?
Oh man, it was like a vacation and Christmas all in one.
Oh, what do you say that?
No, I'm just kidding. Hey, work's work. You got to do what you got to do. So, but it was pretty good.
So, when you're at work on the boat, right? You're on a boat, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you take your fishing pole, sit out there on the deck? I'm sure they wouldn't care. It's night shift. There's nothing more to do.
That is something that I'm told as soon as I start. So I'm not allowed to fish while I'm on the clock, on the overnight. Which I think is really
Fucking Nazis.
I mean, do you think that would be something you would just do for fun to stay awake, right? But no.
I mean, to stay occupied. What else? What do they want you to do? Just stare at your phone all day, sitting at that bar counter, like go for a walk every couple hours?
Yeah, right.
Patrol.
It's not bad.
We gotta patrol. It ain't bad, right? I mean,
no.
There could be worse things in life, right? You could be in the coal mines, Eastern Kentucky, which in this case you probably wouldn't be. You'd probably be without a job right now, or dead because of the black lung.
Yeah,
we talk about the
learn the code.
Lung. Learn the code so you don't have to do manual labor. So,
right.
but yeah. So speaking of manual labor, I mean, what is it with the United States and our addiction towards consumerism? I mean,
Um,
do we do we like cheap stuff made by slave labor, child labor, slave child labor, most likely?
I guess
Are we
so. Every
are we
Friday, man. Every Black Friday.
every yeah? So I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's get on that tangent, right? I mean, why the fact of the matter is the United States has become more of a consumerist economy, right? We don't make anything here. We really don't do anything here. We fuck each other and literally we fucked each other. We don't we don't procreate, we just fuck each other. Um where was I going with this? Take
I
it
don't
away,
know. It's
Andrew.
kind of gay. It sounds kind of gay the way you just said it. God.
Yes. Yes. We have a comment. Welcome in, William. Oh, William, it's like
Hey,
I haven't it's like I just saw you in the
right?
chats. In the chat. Speaking of that, actually, you know what? We forgot to do it, man. I speaking of seeing William in the chats, hide that.
Mr. Engineer here.
But in reality, it was just on. It was literally just on. We followed. We're following greatness, man. Greatness.
Are
The
you
number
implying
one.
followers?
Yeah, we're followers. Or maybe he's a follower now that he does Fridays and is live. Who knows? But Bud's in reality, the number one libertarian podcast in all of Detroit. Maybe the only one, but who cares? We'll just go with the number one. So number one is number one. Bud's in reality, politically charged, anarchist, fuck the state. It just gets real, man. So go ahead, pack a bowl and get high and let's get into some real shit. Bud's in reality every Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, live on YouTube, Rumble. Yes, he's on Rumble now, and X, and then everywhere else after that. If you miss the live stream, so if you really just don't want to listen to us, at least listen to him because the message needs to get out. We're just two dudes rambling. But speaking of that, see this, Sean? OH. Although he agrees, Michigan's probably going to get their ass beat. But who knows? Records and stats go out the window. This is the game. So, but before I went off the tangent about we all fuck each other instead of procreating, where was I going with this, Andrew?
How I'm number two and Buds is number one.
Yes, you're number two. No, you're number one. You're my number one right here in my
Yeah, that's
heart.
not gay. Oh God.
Okay, we just got canceled. Thanks.
Yeah.
Are you homophobic? You're gonna get us
Well,
canceled,
I
dude.
am all
For
for
doing.
national divorce, so whatever works for each state.
Will do. Will do. I'm all for national divorce. One thing that I'm for is maybe divorcing ourselves from this consumerist society that we've decided to become because we like I said what before I went on my little dumbass tangent, um we don't really make anything here. I mean we do, but we don't. Whatever we do make though, we don't ascertain resources that we do have here. uh if we just look, we go elsewhere for the resource, the raw materials that we need. And that's inevitable. You're not going to have all the resources that you need in your own home. So you're going to have to outsource in some capacity. But what do you, the climate right now, especially with Trump and his assertion in the power since being elected November 5th, remember the 5th of November when Donald Trump became president again. It seemed that the Democrats were going to fake it, but it happened to be a win. How was that? Was that pretty good?
They couldn't fake
I
it, so
think
they
that was.
didn't make it.
They couldn't fake it, 'cause, although surprisingly they're still counting votes, and by the end of it, end of November, we're almost in December, and by the time they finish the votes, it'll probably show that Trump didn't win the popular vote, but he's still got the electoral college. So there's that, I guess. But the talk is the tariff situation. Obviously, Biden has continued since a couple years ago the Trump tariffs on China. So we are effectively still in a trade war with China. Um, but he wants to fulfill that niche onto Canada and Mexico now. That's the next domino effect, right? That's his plan. And I just want to know, since we're so, and I want to know your thoughts, and then you can take the mic and let me be quiet for a little bit. Um, and you can tell me to shut the fuck up. What, how does this work in a society that doesn't really make anything?
Well,
Take the mic there, Andrew.
oh, sorry. I mean, it's all about scaling, right? If you can't scale to what you need and produce it effectively locally, then you're going to outsource it. And if you can't do it peacefully through financial means, then you're going to do it through war. And deep state,
Mm,
whatever you want to call it, Washington, D.C., they're always been trying to push for more war because it's easier. They they get to assert their dominance, and after they do that, they they can take whatever they want and call it a revenue stream. So
a revenue stream of war, so a military industrial
from
complex.
war, yeah.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
mean,
it seems like about the only thing that we do. We really don't even make the war economy isn't even manufactured really in this country. Ain't that some shit? I mean,
mm,
it is, but it isn't, right? It's it's kind of
it's been
expanded
just
outward. Go ahead.
Europe. Europe draws from it too. Just all the
Yeah.
first world powers like Japan and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So
Oh, that's the thing. Yeah, and then whatever. And as far as a non-war economy and manufacturing, as far as the United States goes with their companies, there's really not a whole lot here. But you just said Japan, right? Japan, South Korea, whatever you name it, especially when it comes to auto parts and automobile making, uh, they
yeah,
have moved into the United States over the decades. So there are auto plants here in this country. They're still obviously American made. Not much, not much goes on here, but there's just nothing that's really American. If it's made in America, odds are it's making some extremely rich executives very, very lucrative over there in Tokyo, right, with Toyota. I say that because
Honda,
Northern Kentucky is basically the Toyota capital. There's like
yeah,
same with Cincinnati.
right,
There's like there's like 4 different plants, auto parts plants
yeah.
around Northern Kentucky, Georgetown,
They're
Heber.
down in Tennessee too, and uh,
They're in
other
Tennessee.
parts. I think I remember seeing that they were in Georgia as well, but Tennessee's
Yeah.
got a big automobile presence.
Mhm. I mean, I heard like the take of the day is jobs. It's all about jobs, right? And I remember about 10 years or so when Greensburg, Indiana built that
They took
when
her
Greens
gerbs.
take the gerbs. When Greensburg, Indiana actually had Honda come in and build a great big factory up there. And it's great. It's great for the area, obviously, but as far and it does give people jobs, whether it's within that area or within the sphere of everything. But what does the revenue stream of these companies that are outsourced actually? Where does that revenue actually go? because you know that it's not really coming back into the flow of the U.S. economy. It's going outward.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because they're first party partners, governments, that is, they
Mm-hmm.
incentivize their private companies underneath their governance
Mm-hmm.
to do, different business for whatever the needs for war are. You know, if they need, think about Boeing and all these other airplanes. They're all over the news all the time about how they need
Mm-hmm.
more to sorry, they need to do more stuff for whatever active military stuff that we're doing, and they make money off of it. But then they partner with other companies to, fine tune and do whatever contracts they need to benefit that effort. So I mean, it's all engineering.
Yeah, it's all contracts. I mean, one way or another, there's a benefit,
Yeah,
but whom does it benefit? If it you see what I'm saying? Who does it benefit? It would benefit the not the host, but back home for the most part,
yeah,
and mainly the as you to go off of what you're saying, it benefits governments and corporate contracts and every in it's not going to actually help an economy at home either. At this point, it just fine lines the great trek of a global economy, which I'm not I'm not against a global economy. I'm all for a global economy if people and countries or states can play along with each other and kind of be able to compete and be as fair as possible. But I mean, give me a break. We live in the real world, right? As
yeah.
much as we want a free market, I mean, a free market is inevitably it's going to be an inevitable failure on a global structure.
Well, I mean, as long as there's that influence towards war, there's always going to be some form of pollution, and
Hmm.
that it gets lost. It's lost in translation. I guess you could put it that way. Is that,
Hmm.
yeah, we're doing this, and it's going to help certain people in certain ways, but it also helps, the military industrial complex, and so it's two sided. You,
Hmm.
you just can't. You don't have an option to opt out.
Yeah. Well, I look at it like this. I look at it on the fact that you should be able to have the ability to contract and retract, right? So
Yeah,
just like the market intends, you should be able to expand and embrace. So,
yeah,
I mean, squish each other. Um, but in the real life that we live in and the structures of the world with governments and government contracts and corporate entities, multinationals, um, how do tariffs fit into all of this?
well, you outsource, you know, your your production, there's
Hmm.
going to be a consequence, and it.
Take a breath.
I know, I right.
You got this, man. I know you. I know you got the thought.
Yeah, it's just a very poor way of it's a byproduct of the strategy that prior politicians try to use to get ahead and take a shortcut. And
Yeah,
so this is
yeah,
the tariffs are the consequence of poor choices.
yeah. I mean, if you decide to jump into the protection racket now, get into some protectionism, throw in some tariffs here and there, you're going to end up hurting yourself. You're literally loading up the gun and you're putting it to your own head. This is an example, YouTube, okay? And and you're going to end up harming yourself because especially if you don't have the excess resources, if you're not manufacturing everything that you need here in this country or growing everything you need here in your country or this country, we're talking about the United States at this point, and you're getting the bulk of your resources, the bulk of your goods, the bulk of your foods, getting the bulk of your medicines, the bulk of your raw materials from elsewhere, then what happens is the tariff is going to inevitably become a consumer tax, for which now you're going to have to see companies, retail companies here that sell, whether wholesale or to individual customers, right? Like grocery stores. You're going to see them elevating their prices to fix the need to that new tax for the consumer goods and raw materials that are coming from elsewhere being imported in and slammed with that tax. And so now you're forcing more. And then we all know the government is not going to quit printing and creating new monies. So now you got that inflation tax. And yet, if they took away the income tax, you're still going to see the same difference. Would there be a little bit more, I don't know, pressure relieved if, like, say, Donald Trump really did uh, succumb to his promise of ending the income tax? Right? He said
it's a
something about,
temporary
yeah,
reprieve.
yeah.
It's not, because once he's out, there's no
Hmm.
guarantee that the next
There's
president doesn't just screw
put
things
it
up like
back.
they were before. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, the
or
fact of the matter is he
pivot.
himself wouldn't be able to do that. It has to be an act of Congress and through a ratification process in an amendment phase because of what is it? The 17th Amendment is the income tax.
Yeah, but he
Excuse
can
me.
influence the way they behave.
He could. He could theoretically. I don't think you're going to see an amendment phase, I guess. I mean, I guess he could use a executive order to temporarily halt it, like he said, for the duration of his presidency and see where that goes. But at the same time, it's only a temporary reprieve until you're hit through your own pocketbook from the high prices of consumer goods because of the tariff, the import tax that is being applied to the rest of the business in this country from the
Yeah,
outsources. And then on top of that, you still are seeing the negative effects of, well, there is no real positive effect, but the effects of inflation, which they're
blow
gonna,
back.
yeah, which, yeah, blowback, yeah, which you're not going to see them slow on especially with Trump. You're not going to see the slowdown of creating new monies. I
No.
mean, Biden is on his way to, actually, I think at this point I think he's officially beaten Trump in the spending, in the creating and spending. Trump beat Obama. Obama beat Bush. Bush beat Clinton. Well, yeah. I mean, Clinton had us in a surplus bubble building.
Mm.
um, but yeah, so I don't
What do
know.
you think
I
about
don't know
what do you think about that rumor Hillary Clinton's going to run again in another 4 years?
how how old is she right now?
She's almost as old as Joe Biden would be in 4 years.
Holy! So wait, is she? So
She'll be up
she's
there.
Trump
she- She'll be about the same age as Trump is now. A
right
little,
now.
in about 4 years.
Oh, in about 4 years. Oh, she's 77.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she wants to run for president in 4 years, 2028, at the age of 81, 82.
Yeah. Uh, that is just speculation. I don't know if it's actually going to happen.
I mean, I believe it. I'm sure she wants to, but
Yeah.
will her body and her mind allow her? And then on top of that, will the Democrats allow her? And that since they did the whole party coup d'état
Yeah.
with Biden and with the Biden flip to Kamala Harris. So if I were to suspect, if we have another presidential election in 4 years, which I assume we will, the Democrats are going to go younger, and I wouldn't be. It's not too far fetched to throw out Jared Polis, governor of Colorado, um, Gavin Newsom, governor of California, and hell, even Gretchen Whitmer in Michigan. Those are
Yeah.
3 names that I would pull out my ass and say those are probably your 3 that they're going to pick. They're going to select. One of them's going to get you closer to communism, and one of them's going to get you closer to fascism. I'll let y'all choose. Let's go to comments. Here's William with need to buy a lawn sign. I'm done with DC. Why do we pay taxes? How would you answer that question, Andrew?
Why pay taxes when you can just print money? I'd put it across the street.
Because of the interest, dude. Well, they
Right.
gotta trick us into thinking that we're paying for all these services, and in reality, we're paying the interest of all the money that's been printed since World War One. We're literally, as you say, as you put it, printing. We are paying
Paying
back
interest, the interest on
all of
bullets from World War One.
all of the bank. We're paying back the Rothschilds. All right, there you go, for funding all sides of the war. Why do we pay taxes? Why do people, if people have had enough, if they really are enough of it's enough, like take the Tea Party movement in 2010, right? 2009 to 2010. If you say that you have been taxed enough already, if you are sick of paying all these taxes, why don't you all just get together and collectively just stop paying your taxes? If a bunch of locales just stop paying their taxes all at once, what the hell is the IRS going to do? What is your
I don't know.
state revenue? What would your state revenue service do?
It's a good question, especially
State.
considering they're talking about shutting down the IRS.
I wish that was a true story, but I guarantee you it gets expanded.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see.
Was
I
this the
mean,
legendary Michael Malice Roseanne Barr bet? No,
I haven't watched
I
that
don't
one.
know.
I haven't
Oh,
watched.
that's
Don't spoil it. Have you watched it? Wait, which
that
one?
was
I know
that was way
he-
before the election.
oh, was it
Until
way before? Huh, I don't know. I don't think I've watched any of the I don't think I haven't watched the Roseanne one. So, lawn sign enough. Why do we pay taxes?
yeah,
I'm fine. I'm fine with that lawn sign. I'm fine with that lawn. So everybody, actually hashtag this everybody over on X, Instagram, anywhere you're at. Just all plaster this all over social media, and let's start a movement. Hashtag enough. Why do we pay taxes? Let's start a movement right now. Hashtag enough. Why do we pay taxes? Or hashtag and then add this one. Hashtag fuck DC. So and then launch sign December 7th. They knew day. I'm fine with that. We're actually about ready. December 7th. If we make it through December 3rd, December 7th is the anniversary day of Pearl Harbor, and FDR knew.
yep.
FDR knew. So yeah, but anyways, Andrew, to get off of Trump and tariffs and all this bullshit, let's get on to something. Let's transition over to something very 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 positive.
fuck?
Thanksgiving.
Uh,
What is
yeah,
what does what how first off, I asked you before, but how was your Thanksgiving? What you do with the fam and what y'all eat? Did you have a big old turkey?
yeah, it was not too bad. We just stuck around and hung out and watching TV and just the normal thing.
Hmm. What did you watch on TV? Did you watch Mystery Science Theater Marathon on
No,
Twitch?
The Big Bang Theory.
Oh, The Big Bang Theory. There you go. So
Yeah,
you nerded out. You nerded out on some comedy sitcoms. That sounds
mhm,
nice. That's what it's all about, man. That
yeah,
is. I watched the baby make a fool of himself. That kid's
right.
full of himself. It was adorable. So
Yeah,
good food, good times, enjoy. So uh hold on. Before we jump on, to not get into trouble with the IRS, you must ask tax protests in form of a question. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you're not asking it in a question, then they think that you're for real, and then they could just show up to your house with guns. So, yeah. So, and
for now.
inflation is a hidden tax, certainly. So, and so are tariffs, hidden taxes. You may think that it's actually wholesalers and all this and that and governments, I guess, paying each other off, and in reality, that gets sent to you. It's a consumer tax, thus hidden tax, just like inflation. Inflation is a consumer tax. You don't necessarily see it, but you're going to feel it down the road, and eventually you will see it. So, but yeah, but to stay off the mundane black pill subject of taxes and getting taxed enough out our ass, like the IRS just wants to bend us over and take us without lube. Um, Thanksgiving, man. What is that? What does Thanksgiving mean to you?
I mean, realistically, not very much. I understand the historical context, but it's just another day to me. It's not so personally significant to me.
You don't treat it as a means of family and
Well, I mean, I
celebration
do
with
appreciate
family.
family and spending time with each other, but it's not
Hmm.
it's not the same priority as other holidays for me. It's about the same level as the Fourth of July. I mean, it's
Yeah.
fun to do, but it's not like significant to me personally.
Well, it also doesn't make sense. Like the rest of the world, like Europe and the UK. Well, I don't know about the rest of Europe, but I know the UK and Canada have theirs in October to celebrate the harvest, which actually makes sense. And here's ours at the end of November, which it's like, I mean, why? What's the significance of it being at the end of November?
Yeah,
Do you know? Do you have any thoughts on that, or do you know, or
I I guess it's just in the timing
yeah,
historically.
maybe that. I mean, that sounds yeah, just the timing of it. I mean, what it I mean, should we just stop celebrating Thanksgiving altogether and just make it?
I don't think
I
it's
just
realistic.
I don't think it
It,
is
it
either at this point. Go
it's
ahead.
not, a lot of people. It's just part of the tradition.
Yeah, at this point you have a tradition, and on top of that, within our very corporate frenzied society, I mean, advertisers and businesses, I mean, they all have the jingle for the cash, so they're gonna make theirs. So I mean, it's all our society revolves around Thanksgiving, just like Christmas, right?
Yeah,
Just like Valentine's Day. Like, what exactly is Valentine's Day in the realest sense, right? I mean, besides being a Catholic feast day, I mean, for Saint Valentine's, but it's a marketing scheme. In the secular corporate culture of the day, it's just a marketing scheme. It's to make money, obviously, and it can have some good gestures. Everything has its pros and its cons, right? So just because something has a very faulty means and possibly a greedy means, um, there's also the positives that that embraces a tradition of love and faith and family and just celebration and appreciation, right? So,
Yeah, that's sure.
but considering you don't think that Thanksgiving doesn't really mean much to you, what would you rather have been doing on Thanksgiving than eating turkey and watching Big Bang Theory?
I mean, like I said before, it's not terribly important to me. It's more like a milestone on the way to Christmas. So you start with Halloween. I think that's the big kickoff, and then it's kind of like you second down or whatever, and then you finish off Christmas with a field what's it called a
That's not what
touchdown.
I asked, Andrew. I said,
I
what
know,
would you rather be
I know
doing?
that's not what you asked. I just what I'd rather be doing. It's just another day to me. So
You'd be ready. Would you rather be watching Detective Conan, Dragon
uh,
Ball Z, Dragon Ball,
I guess so.
Sailor
Watching anime
Moon?
is fine.
You, that Sailor
Like
Moon, you
video
horny
game,
bastard.
haha. Playing video games or reading or something like that probably just as important.
Speaking of books, man, what's on your wish list for Christmas, book wise? What,
Oh, I saw a comic from between Batman and the Shadow. I'm looking into getting for Christmas, so
nice,
that'd be
nice.
fine. I've always been a big fan of the Shadow.
The Shadow.
Yeah,
That was an old
Lamont
radio
Cranston.
show.
Yeah,
It's on YouTube, everybody, if you want to look up The Shadow. So,
hmm.
but in reality, deep down inside your heart, what you really want to do is you want to get a big old 600-page paperback with a bunch of citations talking about what led up to and why there's a war in Ukraine. Ain't
That's
that
right.
right, Andrew?
That's right. Man, that book looks huge.
That book is humongous, and that's and there and I think Scott actually tweeted about this and said that like the hardback is gonna be like fucking like almost over 900 pages
Yeah,
just because of what the sheer size, because it's gonna be bigger. I guess it's like a 7
yeah,
by 10 is the paperback, so it's gonna be much bigger. And then with all the sources and all that, and just all the information, it's gonna end up being like 900 pages or something. It's like what?
Can you imagine how heavy that book is going to be in hardback?
Oh, it's gonna be heavier
How,
than
how can the
you
support?
can.
How can a
You,
book like that be supported by a spine?
yeah, I don't think it can. All I know is anybody that doesn't lift weights. I mean, you're certainly gonna get a workout.
Oh, that's for sure.
Just start lifting Scott Horton's Unprovoked, man. Just juggling it.
Right? It's like that meme. Every time I lift up the book Provoked, something happens. I lose weight or something
Mhm.
like that.
In the
Uh,
meantime, honestly, I think we should all read stuff like this. I'm not gonna show you the price, okay? Okay,
I can't see what
maybe
the.
you can't see that. Ah, shit.
No, it's a little hard.
I still haven't removed the sticker. We should all read C.S. Lewis.
Okay.
C.S. Lewis. So
Mere Christianity, huh?
yeah, we should all just start reflecting on our own lives and our faith, and just start trying to figure out what is meaningful in our lives. I mean, really, I mean, we all have fun here. We all want to spread the message of liberty all this and that, whether you're an anarchist or an agorist or a libertarian. Yes, I said everything separately. Libertarians are too far fetched inside the asshole of the partyarchy. Come home. Come home, libertarians. Embrace the agorism, not the partyarchy. But to get off track right there, get back on it. I mean, we're all here to talk about everything like that, but at the same time, we need to just like sit down and just relax. I mean, it's cool. I mean, you can relax and read a little bit of Scott Horton's new book, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, do you really want to? Sometimes you just gotta let your brain take a break, man. There's too much bad shit out there. I mean, but you can't control that. You can only control what's around you. You can only control you and what is around you. So why not, if you're gonna sit down, have a hot cup of tea or some hot shot? Tis the season, man. A hot cup of cocoa. It's 28 degrees outside right now here where I'm at. Andrew, it's probably like 60 for you because you're on the coast. But
Last couple of
and
nights it's
just
been like 40 degrees.
whoa, bro, whoa! It's in the 20s right now. 40 degrees is amazing.
Yeah.
It was just like 45 degrees yesterday. Now it's like 28. But yeah, just get hot cup of cocoa, sit on the couch with the lamp on behind your little lamp on behind you, like the one that's behind me, and just start reading a book. Some Philip K. Dick, man. That's
Mm,
my shit right there. Reading Blade Runner, the book,
the book.
or Valis. That's another good one.
What are
I
you planning
recommend.
on? What are you looking forward to anything for Christmas?
Am I looking forward to anything for Christmas? Man, I'm about ready to ask for a damn self-cleaning litter box. I'm tired of scooping my cat's shit, bro. I mean, you're
Yeah,
still gonna have to empty it, but I mean, it makes so much. That's the highlight of my life, man. I want a self-cleaning litter box.
that makes sense.
What
Yeah.
about you?
Oh man, can't think of anything in particular besides, like I said, that was a pretty cool looking comic. Uh,
Hell yeah.
just a couple
I mean,
video games, and it's basically all I'm looking forward to.
nerd. Oh, I kind of want that new AC game, actually. Kind
Yeah.
of want to play it, but
Alan
I'd have
Wake
to
2
get a.
looks pretty good.
What is it?
Alan Wake 2.
Oh, Alan Wake 2. They're making a second one now?
They released it. Yeah, it's pretty good looking.
Dude, about time. How long's it been since the first one came out?
Oh, at least 10 years.
That sounds about right. See, that should be really good because they put the time into it. So that should be really good. That would be
Yeah,
awesome. Actually, I kind of want to get back into gaming just for Alan Wake 2 and to be a assassin, samurai assassin. Actually, I think it's the ninja is the assassin, the fictional character. So, mm-mm. Thanksgiving to me, this is what William says. Thanksgiving to me means woke members of my family invade my home and eat my food.
yeah. And then they
Is
take
that
all the leftovers with them, right?
Are they woke left or woke right? That's the question. All I want for Christmas is Texas or a larger national divorce.
Mm.
I don't think that's happening, but that would be awesome. That would be awesome. If Texas leaves the union, William, can I come live with you?
Ah,
Just for a few weeks. I promise I'll finally leave when I get a
the hell
job.
national divorce.
But I don't think it's happening anytime soon. So we'll see though. It might. now that Trump's in office, it's gonna be another 4 years at least, unless California decides to leave. I mean,
For
fuck them.
Canada. I'm sorry, New
Well,
York. New York was talking about.
that's
New York was
that's
talking
what
about going
the
to Canada.
that's what oh, he answered. They were woke left,
Mm.
and it
In
looks like
Texas?
I am yeah, in his family, and I'm allowed to come. Thank you, sir. I will if it happens, give me 2 weeks. 2 weeks, and then I'll be out of your hair until I'm established in my tent in the West Texas desert. That's where I'm gonna live. I'm gonna set up a tent in the West Texas desert and like die of dehydrate. Either if I don't die of heat stroke, I'm gonna die of dehydration. Wow, that
You
was
didn't
hard
get.
to talk.
You didn't get. You didn't drown from dihydrogen monoxide, did you?
No, I try to stay away from that, man. That's poison.
Yeah. You consume too much dihydrogen monoxide, you're gonna die.
Yeah,
Be
yeah.
careful with that.
Don't they call that Hawata?
I
Hawata?
believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to put emphasis on the H. There's no H in water. What?
Yeah, there is.
Do your
Hydrogen monoxide. Hydrogen H2O.
hydrogen monoxide. I don't know if I like that. What is hydrogen monoxide? Actually,
Everyone needs a gimmick.
Let's ask Google. Let's see what Google says. What is hydrogen monoxide? Oh, hold up. It says here hydrogen monoxide is a deliberately misleading term for water, H2O. It is used in a common prank or educational exercise to highlight how scientific terminology can be manipulated to sound alarming even when describing a harmless substance. Don't trust the experts, everybody, because they might be a prankster.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what maybe that oh, we better not actually. Maybe the incident, this is sad that we have to tiptoe on this for YouTube purposes. Maybe the incident 4 years ago was just one big prank. And
Depends.
those, were they were placebos. Maybe.
That would be funny.
That would be hilarious, actually. That would be hilarious. Hold on. I think I got an update on something.
Hmm.
We have a chaos, actually. Meanwhile, while we're live here, I guess Georgia and Georgia Tech are playing. And my God, Georgia, what the hell is happening with y'all? Georgia Tech 17, Georgia nothing. Let's go, Yellow Jackets.
That's the Georgia way. Always has been.
Well, the Georgia way is actually burning in fire, specifically Atlanta all the way to Savannah and into South Carolina by the Union Army, led by Sherman.
A byproduct of poor decision making.
Was it poor decision? I think it was deliberate, man. I think it was strategic, and they did a great job strategy-wise, but it was a war crime, as what we
It
would
depends on
call
who you ask.
it. Exactly, it depends on who you're asked. Like in today's scenario, I mean, you ask those that are against the Israelis bombarding the Gazans. Well, that's a genocide. You ask the people that are pro-Israel, they're saying no. The genocidal maniacs are Hamas, and they're the ones that are. I mean, who knows? Who the hell knows? We'll know what the definition is as soon as we have a clear and cut winner, because the winners write the
Yep.
history books. So So I switched my phone to dev mode, then searched Bluetooth, and 2 members of my Javid family were detected. When they left, so did the devices on my phone. What does that mean, Andrew, to you?
That means that there's barcodes in the jab. NFC,
Oh,
baby, near field communication.
we knew it. Oh, damn. That's what it was. It was the mark of the beast. It won't work on iPhone. Must be an Android phone.
Makes sense.
That
Recovery
actually
mode.
does. That does actually make sense, honestly. Recovery mode. Yeah. So, um,
Or
or
are they
they're
recovering addicts?
hopefully they're recovering. I can't say the word.
Jabbits?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go, Andrew. Get us canceled. It can be your fault this time. It can be your fault this time.
This
So,
time? It was the last time?
well, the last time was my fault
Yeah, okay.
because I went on a tangent on Gerberts. Gerberts.
Hmm.
So, if you like to support Andrew, you can send money to his house. I'm actually gonna drop his address in the chat. So send whatever you like. Whatever you like. This is the Docs Andrew Joseph podcast.
Yep.
So yeah, so anyways, back to consumerism now. Let's touch base on that as before we decide to close it out. Um, why is it that we have become? It seems like we've become addicted to appetites anymore. So there's an excess of just honest in my opinion. I mean, one man's trash and another man's garbage, but a lot of the consumer products out there, a lot of the goods that we have in our stores, they're trash, and half of them break down anyways. Um, they don't last very long. Appliances don't last very long anymore. Maybe that's the consequences of outsourcing your manufacturing to China. 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 Gotta say it like Trump. China. So, what are your thoughts on how do we rectify this consumer addiction, this these appetites that we are fixated on having the best, in innovating towards benefiting our consumerist society that we live in today?
Well, I think you can definitely work towards improving the long lasting quality of the content or the stuff that you're getting. I hate it when he does this. Oh, cell phones only last a couple years most of the time. Once you hit the third or fourth year, they start overheating a lot. Uh, Not back in the day, stuff would last decades. So, I,
You're on the spot, man.
I know.
Keep going. You had a
Just,
good one.
yeah, just work towards longer lasting, more uh, established brands and products. That way, you know, they can people will be motivated to preserve what they do have in their life and try to pass it on to the next generation.
So how do we preserve for the next generation?
Well, it just depends on how you're motivated. What you're motivated to do, and that
I like this cameras better, man. They're smaller and they're more
yeah,
centered. You get to see your background a
yeah.
little bit. Yeah.
It's
Go on.
it's all just what you're motivated to do, man.
Hmm.
We all function differently, but we all have similar goals. We want to preserve our life and try to build it, make it better, if not just for ourselves, but for people in our lives, and to
Listen,
be set a good example.
listen. I don't think it's preserving your life when there's many different sets on the market of giant phalluses, fake phalluses that you can get.
Okay,
What is that preserving, dude?
well, that's that's not that's not motivated for that particular purpose, but it, I guess, joy. I don't know.
I
Pleasure.
mean, I guess theoretically, I mean, you're not wrong. Pleasure, joy. I mean, I feel bad for the man of that relationship if his wife or his girlfriend has got a big old phallus. Like they're making dildos like this big, dude. I was actually talking with Sean earlier from Buds. I was showing him
I'm
how
glad
to.
to know
Yeah.
that you showing him about dildos. Yeah.
No, he brought it up, man. But
So why did you ask him to talk to you about dildos?
I brought him on. I was trying to show him a little bit of how
Your
StreamYard
collection?
works. Right? But he said he walked into a yeah. I'm gonna use Sean on this one. So, but we were talking about just how fucked up society is, really. I mean, and that just came up, and like, but I feel we do. You kind of feel bad for the guy if his wife or his girlfriend's getting a big old dildo, and I mean, he has to. It has to make him feel inadequate. See, like a 10 inch. She has a 10 inch fake phallus, and he's looking at it like, what are you missing from me? What do you need? What do you need?
I don't know, man.
All right, to get off of phalluses, I learned something new today. For Alaska to become a state, the majority of the citizens needed to vote yes. Prior to the vote, thousands of military. So basically, it was really just the United States military that made sure that we became a state. I mean, that makes sense actually, considering it was a frontier. I mean, we had just we purchased it in about 1867. I mean, he goes on. Military personnel were sent to Alaska, and so were federal workers, so they could vote to join the union. See, that would make sense because then that way you can get it into the union as fast as you can, make it a state. So then it's kind of solidified. So if Russia decided to make bad on their decided to break the contract of the legal purchase and invade, you could just declare war. It would be
Yep.
easier as a state than a territory, I guess. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm jumping into the Russia thing because we're just so inundated with Russia, Russia, Russia. Putin has a legitimate beef, everybody. And he does hold some serious restraint for what's going on. I mean, we're literally giving we're giving a little country to launch missiles into a bigger country.
Yep.
May I go on?
You may.
But
You may.
yeah, seriously, after a pipeline is blown up, missiles being launched into your country that's being supplied by the U.S., NATO surrounds you. He's holding he is actually doing a really good job with the restraint. He's a bad dude, but at the same time, he has a legitimate beef.
He ain't no corn pop.
He's definitely no corn pop. So the feds stack the vote, basically. The feds are always stacking the vote. It's like every election that we've ever had, I'm starting to think like, and there's a reason why, Spooner's assertion on voting is correct, in my opinion. It's literally just made for you to think you have a choice, but in reality, it's going to be stacked against you for those in power at the moment to retain power. So they'll
It's
never lose it.
Who's to say that federal employees aren't hired in so they could be transferred to different states to influence the way the elections are had?
That's a good point, Andrew. That's a good point. This happened in 1958. Alaska became a state in 1959. That goes to show you how many actual settlers were in the territory of Alaska there really was. Because Alaska, I know this, they were having the hardest time to get people to move up there and settle until about the 1890s when they finally discovered gold. And then you had an influx, but you still didn't have enough people, enough population to be able to vote, to be able to set up a territorial government that could actually assess for a call for a vote. I mean, they had a territorial government, but they didn't have a large enough population to be able to vote in uh, to become a state. So it would and it would make sense that they still didn't have enough up there. And I mean, they don't call it the last frontier for no reason. So it would make sense that they sent up a bunch of federal workers and military personnel stationed up there to vote in 1958 for it to be admitted into the Union. And then that also makes you wonder now with our elections today, especially with the presidential election. So, so Alaska really isn't a state. Exactly. It's not a state. Yeah, that's what it would seem like. Because it was manipulated. It's fraud. It literally is fraud because they were
Like
not
the
settled.
federal income tax?
Well, I mean, yeah, if you can get an amendment passed and ratified without being actually ratified with 2/3 of the states and still make it an amendment, then you can pull shit like this where Alaska doesn't become a state. And I think the whole key thing was they wanted to make sure Alaska was admitted into the union before Hawaii. Because Hawaii actually had the number of votes because they had the larger population. But Alaska was purchased earlier and was actually in the United States possession earlier since 1867 when we purchased it from the Russians. There I go with them Russians again, man. Those dirty Ruskies. The movement died when he was killed. Wait, what movement? Who? Wait. Clarify, William, while Andrew does a dance.
uh,
Fuck.
hmm.
Oh wait, everybody. We're gonna take back what's ours. The bragging rights of the North.
You can
So-
have what's yours.
Oh no, Michigan can have Toledo back. If Alaska has oil and other resources, why then did we want Iraqi oil and others? Control. Iraq had more to do with the central.
Conquest.
Yeah, it had more to do with the conquest, military-industrial complex, conquest, and the placement of a new central bank in Iraq. Because one of the first things that happened in Iraq after they set up the government was they put in the central bank. Volger started the Alaska secession movement. Oh, I gotta read up on that actually. I didn't even realize. So yeah, there was yeah. Alaska should succeed. We should restart that secession movement and then all move to Alaska because Alaska should not be part of the Union. In fact, I wouldn't. If I were Alaska, I would ask to go back to Russia just to be safe when the nukes start flying. Although they'd probably be safe.
Better than
maybe.
I don't know which one will be better for them: the United States, Russia, or Canada.
Well, you don't want to go to Canada because I mean that's woke as fuck.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, they're the closer government than the United States.
Yeah, but then I mean, Do you really want baby Castro, who's
No, I
probably
don't.
going?
I'm not even Canadian. I think from Alaska. I live in Alaska, so what does it matter to me? I'm just saying, like, they're physically landlocked, so
Yeah,
I don't see why they how that could not be a benefit in
that
interpreting
would
the
be a
situation.
benefit. That would be a benefit if Alaska went to Canada. Would be a benefit for Canada, but would Alaska want to be part of Canada? I mean, I don't see why not. They're basically like they'd be a separate profit province. It'd be almost like, I mean, the thing I do like about Canada for the most part, many of the provinces do nullify. Like Alberta is, yeah, like the province of Alberta is very, very different from the province of British Columbia or Ontario or Saskatchewan or Manitoba, whatever. So, and the eastern provinces, specifically Quebec and Ontario, are more in line with Ottawa, obviously, um, considering Ottawa is in the east and in Ontario. So, I
You're not
mean,
going to do an
so
auto exit.
okay, J-Reg, vote for J-Reg for dictator for
Yeah,
Ancapistan, and the dictator of Ancapistan. He will be our dictator, and we will all be kings.
that's right.
Dang it. Dang it. You're not going to sing it?
Uh, I don't.
Welcome to Ancapistan.
For everything could be a king. Yeah, I know the line. I don't dance for you, damn it.
You missed a bit. You
Yeah.
missed a bit, man. God,
Fuck.
Bitcoin's tired tonight. He's been running
Yeah.
ragged. So, so anyways, anything William likes it. So, anything else to say? Any concerns about a Trump presidency there, Andrew?
I'm ready for another 4 years of just laughing my ass off.
4 year? You think it's going to be 4 years of entertainment?
Mm. It was entertaining last time. It
It
was
was pretty
interesting.
entertaining. I wonder what the Democrats are going to try this time around. I don't think they can. Can they pull the Russian collusion shit still, or are they going to move somewhere else?
I think they're gonna pivot and do something else.
Pivot to
We'll just see
Israel?
what happens.
They can't really pivot to Israel since most of them are on the payroll of APAC, so or the ADL.
Yeah.
They'll figure something out.
We'll just see what happens.
Yeah. So Ottawa was supposed to be the 14th colony, right? That's a good question. I do know that the United States attempt was the whole point of the War of 1812, realistically, to the sense of the Americans, was we were going to use it as a way to invade Canada and free the Canadians from the British. Interesting. They kicked our ass. The Canadians, not the British. The Canadians kicked our ass. Yeah, don't invade Canada. We've never really had a great military, honestly. The only time we had a great military escapade was Mexico, because Mexico sucks. Ourselves, because we beat ourselves down, and Spain, because, well, Spain was very, very weakened and a shell of themselves. So that was, and they had been weakened already with we basically came in on the ass end of a revolution that was going to be a success in Cuba and the Philippines. And the Philippines. In fact, true story, folks. The United States first. Anyway, true story, folks. The United States went into the Philip. They gained the Philippines at the end of the Spanish American War, and entered into their very first guerrilla war internationally. So The new Legacy Right sponsor is blue hair dye for woke listeners. I like it. I like it. For all of you, this is gonna be a good marketing product. If you're woke and you want some new
Go
hair
broke.
dye, you will go broke for this, because this blue hair dye is fantastic and it is worth $500 million. So, anyways, Andrew. Oh, disclaimer may cause baldness if you've been red pilled. There you go, Andrew. That's why you're bald. Taking too much blue hair dye. Blue hair dye. It will also cause baldness because blue is the color that meshes with piss. I mean maize. Excuse me. And we're gonna beat the piss out of the blue. So I hope I'm not. I hope I don't eat my words. Honestly, I have a feeling I'm gonna eat my words somehow. Because Ryan Day might be the new Cooper. He might be the new John Cooper. I'm gonna call him Ryan Cooper if he loses this game. But yeah. So, anyways, anything else for you, Andrew?
Oh man, let's finish out the year and have a good next 4 years.
Hell yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Do it with me, Andrew.
Oh,
H I O.
oh, I don't know. I'm not a football guy.
It's the mantra, man. You gotta get with it. You're here with a Buckeye fan. So fuck Michigan. Go Bucks. Boo Blue. Hopefully I don't eat my words and the Buckeyes are back. And Michigan gets a bunch of asterisks at the end of the year. So including their national championship. So I love when Michigan gets hurt. For all the Michigan listeners, I love you. And I'm so terribly, terribly sorry that Whitmer is your governor. So much. So have a good day, William. So
See you, William.
happy Thanksgiving to you. Happy Thanksgiving belated to all of y'all. Hopefully you had a fantastic Thanksgiving. Hopefully you enjoyed yourselves that have stayed and listened to us ramble on and have enjoyed it. This is The Legacy Right. Repost this, share this, get it out there. Because I think Andrew has a lot to say. I know I really don't. I'm a dumbass. I'm a retard. But Andrew's a smart dude, man. So let's get his voice out there. And as for that, man, that's about it. Let's get on out of here. Enjoy the outro. It's long, but it's pretty cool actually. And if you want to help us out, man, scan those QR codes for Andrew's baldness and to expand this pod, make it a little bit better. Otherwise, you're already doing exactly that by listening and watching and tolerating all of us. So peace out. I am once again the legacy of Jennifer Aunt Kaiser, Zachary Kaiser, Andrew Joseph. Peace.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Steve Okerlund. I'd like to welcome you to WCW Nitro.
You know, brother, you think you know what it takes to beat Hollywood Hogan? Watch him climb in the ring and try out the largest arms in the world. Holy snap.
You want to wrestle an inch more Ric Flair, you gotta be able to walk that out and style and profile. Woo! You real
really think you're ready for the spin?
You really think you're ready for the Scorpion Deathlock? You think you're ready for a fatal encounter?
This is why they call me the total package. Do you have a pain threshold to withstand the Boogie rack? Let's find out.
Hallo, hier ist thelegacyright. Wenn ihr High-Flying Wrestling Action wollt, Spinning Sidekick, Top Turnbuckle Dropkick, dann nehmt mich. Der Sieg ist euch sicher. Versprecht euch.
Oh yeah! Watch the flying elbow drop off the top rope. Not only beat people 1, 2, 3, but I hurt him real bad.
It only takes one of 1,000 holds. I think you're man enough for the challenge.
You better be ready to wrestle, because you know, when you get in the ring with Eddie Guerrero, it's going to be high-flying and exciting.
Hey, anytime you feel froggy, man, I'll slap on the buzz killer, rip your shoulder right out of socket. Wolfpack style!
Hey, funky boy. Like there's a choice here? Good God! Pick the man with the plan. Pick DDP.
Hey, all you suckers out there, you wanna play the game? You wanna play with the big boy? Put your feet on the button, cause when you go down 110th Street, it's gonna be on like neck bone, sucker. This is Boogie T from Harlem Heat, hardcore OG brother from 110th Street. If any of you punks got the guts to step up to the plate, push the button.
Yo, Chico, you selected Scott Hall? Get ready for a wild ride on the outside.
Hey there! How'd you like to get power pop? Come on, pick me. I'm begging you, pick me.
You think you got the courage to step in the ring? I think you're gonna wind up with a snap neck with a choke slam.
Technical wrestler, high flyer, brawler. Don't matter what you consider yourself to be. When you're in the ring with the crippler, you're a loser.